There we go.
So it is.
Hey, Rob.
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you? Questions for Rob?
All right.
So Rob Blakely will be first.
Rob, welcome back to the start of the season. And just real quick, with the new contract, obviously that's certainly now that that's done and away with. How much easier is it for you to just kind of go out and play when you don't have that kind of hanging out there and that level of uncertainty?
Yeah, it's really a level of comfort, that I can sense once I sign my deal. But like I said, it's always more out there. So just as much as it's comfort, it's motivation. It's a lot of goals I'm trying to reach. There's a lot of goals we're trying to reach as a team. So that's really my mindset right now.
Taylor Snow.
Hey, Rob. Just how are you feeling health-wise? I know you're a little banged up toward the end of last season. And also, second question, how much are you looking forward to having both Al and Ennis back and just being around them again?
Yeah, I'm feeling great health-wise, to be honest. The downtime, honestly, is what I needed a little bit to get myself right. And I was just talking to Al and EK in there. Some of the biggest influences on how my life has been going with this game. On and off the court with Al, watching him as a family man, taking it to the professional side. And Ennis watching the amazing things he do. Man, he's making 30 rebounds. You feel me? So it's just great energy, always positivity when I get with them.
Abby Chin.
Rob, how different is this year for you coming in? I mean, the presumptive starter at center. And not only that, I'm curious your mindset in that regard, but also just with the coaching change and everything that's gone on.
Really just anxious to build a bond between the coaches, my teammates. Obviously I know a couple of guys who were here when I first got here, but I just want to make sure we got that bond, we got that connectivity, so we can go out and fight with each other the right way. If we're going to fight in private, leave it on the basketball court or the practice court, you feel me? So let's focus on that.
And then for you, what is the mindset?
Just honestly be prepared for my team anyway they need me, make myself prepare, help other people prepare as much as I can.
We'll go to a Zoom question next, Al, from Bobby Manning.
Hey, Rob. Two questions. The first one I have is in terms of your health. What kind of things have you learned over the last couple of years? I know you kind of have a goal in terms of games played this year. What kind of things are you doing to try to stay healthy over the course of a year? And then my second question on Al. You guys didn't get to play much when he was last here. You'll probably get to play a little bit on the court together this year. How do you think you two kind of fit together on the floor at the same time?
Yeah, health-wise, it's just trusting my team around me, trusting my trainers. Every time I went through something, they got me back to where I needed to be, thankfully, so I got a lot of trust in them. So that just comes with, like I said, listening to what they say, taking their advice. And with Al being back, it's going to be fun. Like you said, I didn't get to play a lot with him my rookie year, but just the way he can space the floor and the way he's so precise with what he does, I learned a lot from him. Every day I see him, I learn a lot from him. So that'll be a good experience.
Back in person, Jared Weiss.
Rob, last year you made a lot of progress kind of catching up to the speed of the game and you were able to make big plays constantly, but also there'd be like lots of turnovers, things of that nature because you were playing with such high energy. So what have you been working on to try to be more consistent and cut down on those mistakes this year?
Just calming down. Honestly, just realizing mistakes happen. We tend to get down on ourselves a lot when we make mistakes. So thankfully, they just come with motivation from my teammates too. A pat on the back when I mess up.
Suichi Terada.
Hey, Rob, over here on your left. Sorry.
My bad.
I guess you look at your extension, look at Marcus, Jaylen, and Jayson are long-term too. I guess, how do you kind of feel being part of that core of the team, like long-term, and especially with your guys' ages lining up and everything?
Yeah, I mean, it's good to have guys I came in with, be here this long. Obviously, I got a great relationship with those guys, but it just means we got to set the example, for all the other people coming.
Front row, Rob, Gary Washburn.
Hey, Rob, was your family at all affected by the weather situation in Louisiana?
Yeah, I had a couple of people down in New Orleans who had to leave. Thankfully, they weren't harmed, so.
What was your family's reaction to the extension and kind of just that security? What was your initial reaction when it went through?
Man, to be honest, I ain't seen nothing like that before, you know? So that's my first reaction. But just like I said, it gave me more of a sense of urgency, you know, that this organization is trusting me, you know, with something like this. So lock in. That's all I could do.
Back with the Zoom question with Keith Smith.
Hey, Rob, your entire time here, Jaylen and Jayson have been in Boston too. How do you see them being different from before when they were young guys coming up now as growing into what Ime has called pillars of the team?
Kind of, you know, relaying off the last question, I just feel like they've gotten way more comfortable. I've watched them grow as much as they watch me. I just feel like they got way more comfortable, way more settled, you know, on the court, and the shot selection. And they don't drop their head as much, you know, so I really like that about them.
Last couple questions, Rob. First from John Corrales.
Rob, I don't know if it's because I haven't seen you in a little while in person, but you look like maybe you've added a couple of pounds of muscle there. Is that something that you're focusing on? Is that part of your development, you know, what you're trying to do as a center?
Man, you know, it's something I was focusing on, man. We got Andre Drummond over there in 76ers, man. Come on. I need a little meat on my bones. So obviously don't want to get to the point where I can't, you know, use my versatility, but for sure try to put some pounds on.
Final question, Rob, from Abby.
In addition to focusing on your body, since you got, I mean, a relatively normal off season, what was your focus improving your game on this summer?
My main focus this summer was really just getting healthy. You know, whatever I needed to do, whether it was time off or whether it was seeing a special PT, my focus was just getting heavy. Like I said, my biggest thing with my game is just mentally not getting down on myself and mentally being prepared for my teammates.
Wrap it up right there. Thank you very much, Rob.
Appreciate it.